brings with it some new monthly specials. I'm really thrilled to say that Coenzyme Q10 is one of them. Amazing value, great pricing. Andrew and I were having this conversation just the other day, how pricing has gone up. We're excited to be able to have even the largest size at $99.90. Andrew, the relationship between you and CoQ10, and we talk about CoQ10 now as a product that's readily available, certainly by many mass manufactured companies now in every store in America, but many folks perhaps don't realize that you are responsible for so much of what we now know about CoQ10 here in the United States.
If you speak to the folks who are the executives in the CoQ10 industry back in the day in the 1980s, they would say that I was responsible for the education that enabled people, even cardiologists, to understand the importance of CoQ10. And I say cardiologists because cardiologists know. I had been speaking recently to my dad's cardiologist, and we were talking about statin drugs. And he said, yeah, statin drugs inhibit the creation of CoQ10. If you're taking a statin drug, you should be taking CoQ10 because it's going to be reducing the amount of CoQ10 in your body. And why is that important? Because basically you can't make energy without CoQ10.
Right.
That's kind of important. Each of our cells must make their energy. We often don't think of our body in those terms, that in our society, see the lights that are on in this room, in my house here, these lights, the power comes from a power plant. In our body, we have trillions and trillions of cells. Every single cell is responsible for its own energy. It can't rely on its neighbor. The energy isn't distributed. The fuel is distributed, so the fuel comes to the cell. The oxygen is distributed. The oxygen comes to the cell. But that cell has to make its own energy. It has to burn that fuel, transfer those electrons, and by moving that electrical potential, that's the energy you experience. And guess what's centrally responsible for moving those electrons? CoQ10.
Right.
So without adequate CoQ10, you don't have adequate energy. And the most energy-intensive organs in our body, our heart, our brain, our liver, these critical organs rely on energy to perform at their very best. And if their energy is even slightly compromised, their functioning becomes compromised. So CoQ10 is critically important to the experiencing of life because energy is about life and living is all about energy. But at the same time, if we look at all the key organs in our body and look at them as these machines that have to do a job on our behalf, and our experience of life is how good a job those machines are working on our behalf, whether it's our brain, our heart, our liver, then we want to make sure they have adequate CoQ10. And most of us are taking medications that reduce the levels of CoQ10 in our body and thus our ability to produce energy and our systems to work at their very best. Or we're experiencing stress, which significantly lowers CoQ10. Or we might have a less than ideal diet, which nowadays, it's hard to have an ideal diet right now because of issues with food and what our selection is. So CoQ10 is critically important. It used to be the most expensive supplement we make. It's become more and more affordable. It's become, I mean, literally now we can measure it in kind of pennies a capsule for 200 milligrams. The original product was 30 milligrams and cost more than this. It was about 1/7 the potency and it cost more than this. The only problem is this is going to be a Today Special at the end of the year. But pricing on CoQ10 has gone up about 500%. And hopefully we'll have supply for that Today Special at the end of the year. And hopefully the price would even be better than this. That's anticipated that a Today Special would always be better than a monthly special. But with what's going on in the world with CoQ10, I mentioned it back in, I think, September and October, but it's gotten crazy when it comes to CoQ10.
Well, pricing is available, as we said, for a monthly special, so really compelling pricing for sure. If you're looking to get a good deal, certainly on CoQ10, it's available 30, 60, 120, or 240. If you take a look at the larger sizes, the bigger you go, the bigger the savings there are. I'd like to dig my heels in, Andrew, just a little bit, because I'm really proud to talk about this with you. There are many of us, most of us, that see CoQ10, again, in most stores in America. You can go to the big box store and they're everywhere. I really want to highlight for anybody watching, Andrew, why is this better than those other CoQ10 products that I can readily buy?
In fact, I was just reading a little research on CoQ10. The reason why it's better is because it's designed to be better. The other CoQ10 products are designed to sort of pretend to be whatever they are. I'm not sure. You see these ubiquinol products, that ubiquinol is no better than ubiquinone. It just costs 5 times more. That's really not a worthy investment. We have a ubiquinol product, but I counsel people against it. I'd rather see you spend less money and get much more benefit. Plus, CoQ10 has indispensable partners, meaning that CoQ10, as important as it is, and I'm someone who I can't say enough about how important CoQ10 is, but I don't care how important an individual is, there's almost nothing they get to do in life where they don't have someone else they could give credit to or thank for supporting them or helping them. That's CoQ10. CoQ10 has critical nutrients that are required for it to accomplish the work that it accomplishes in your body. And we alone make sure that you get all of those critical components at their proper levels and in their proper forms. So you're just not making an investment in CoQ10 and saying, okay, that's it.
Right.
I expect CoQ10 to be this all alone, on its own, magical ingredient. It doesn't work that way. So unfortunately, or fortunately, the way our body works, it's this intricate machinery and we understand how it works. And it's unfair to kind of burden CoQ10 with the full responsibility of its benefits. Yes, it's the central molecule, but it doesn't do it on its own. And that's why our CoQ10 product it's virtually perfectly reviewed. I was saying before that there are some products in this hour that are 98% positive reviews. We are now talking about it. So if you want a product that we could talk in terms of just the tangible benefits of how it supports and promotes energy production. But even more than that, energy production is the functioning of every system in our body. Whether we're talking about our cardiovascular system, whether we're talking about our nervous system, whatever system we are talking about in our body, its efficacy, its efficiency, its very functioning is dependent on the ability of those cells to produce their own energy. Remember, it's not a distributed energy system. Each cell of each tissue and each organ has to produce their own energy, or there's consequences. So CoQ10 is the central focus of that kind of attention to energy in your body.
Best in the world, simply the best in the world. I encourage you to try it. It's one of my secret go-tos. I love Andrew's CoQ10. You talk about energy and needing energy for this job.